and killed the whole abomination outright. Which is silly, really, because that abomination was what the Skaven players had left to finally assault the building in the last turn, hoping to kill all the infantry inside it. And to be honest, that was a real possibility of that going to plan, but unfortunately it didn't happen due to that stupid doom wheel. Next image, what's happened here is that the Skaven slaves have moved around and failed a billion dangerous terrain tests from the scree slope, with that warpstone meteorite emanating its power and actually killing a lot of those weak slaves straight up. So their chances of holding that objective is just diminished by a whole lot. Going to the next image, the dogs, love this photograph, the dogs are really hungry now, chomping up the giant rats and just eating them left and right. But of course, with giant rats having 3 attacks per base or whatever it is, and for them to be 12 of them there, and I think poison attacks from a spell or sort of for whatever's happening here, the dogs actually got munched. And although the photograph doesn't give you that impression, it's what happened. Next image, we're still hacking and slashing away, and in the background you can see finally we get a magic phase off. The Grey Seer, top of the bell, summons all of the power that he can, eats a couple of warpstone tokens, and casts the dreaded 13th spell on the marauders in the background, and he takes them all. He turns the entire unit to clan rats, even the exalted hero who had been such a heroic figure in this big clash with his rending sword killing that plague furnace, but he's now a rat, and that's the end of him. Although the Grey Seer can't say too much of himself either, because I think going to the next photo, we'll come back to that. What I want to talk about here is the fact that the Doom Wheel's been destroyed, and in the following turn, the Skaven shoot a war machine of some description at the dragon and finish off its last wound. The gutter runners pick off a point off him as well from afar, and that's the dragon down, although the Chaos Lord on the dragon is now a foot trooper, as you can see between the 2 units there. But we're going to be gearing up for a final assault on the building there with those Chaos Warriors, and it's not going to be pretty. The Marker Khorne with Halberds, as I've mentioned. Going back to the situation on the flank here, we've got the Warshrine in the way again, and the Chaos troops have made it across the board there, but nothing else much of importance happening. We're still not ready to attack just yet. Next photo, back on the extreme other flank, we've got more knights engaged in slaves. Things are really looking mopped up. The Skaven players actually got a rattling gun on the hill ready to blast the knights should they defeat those rats, which is looking likely at this point. So we'll let you know how that goes. Going to the next phase, we've got the final assault here. And this is actually only turn 5. The Chaos Lord has joined the nearby Marauders of Tzeentch. Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch, and attacking the building. What happened in the magic phase is that the Chaos players banked a lot of power dice on casting the Flaming Sword of Ruin, which gave these guys flaming attacks, which I think gives you rerolls to wound against buildings or something like that. And of course, they just obliterated the remaining Storm Vermin in the building and captured it as expected. So that pretty much seals the game for everybody. There'll be one more turn to come for the Skaven. I think their only opportunities left will be to try and destroy the building with Crack's Call or the Screaming Bells effects, and just obliterate these guys with shooting and magic, and hopefully force them to fail a panic check. 9 with a reroll, so it's not going to be easy, but they can at least try for it, and we'll see the Skaven pulling out every trick in the book to take this building back. Next image, we've got more Chaos Warriors in combat with a big blob of rats with a character in there. I think it's a Warlord, but not managing to stem the tide. These guys are just too tough in combat. They're Nurgle Chaos Warriors with the Festering Shroud standard, and that's just more Skaven being killed on over here. Also, the Chaos Lord, who was previously riding a Manticore, is charged into their flank as well. Going to the next photo, the remaining Dragon Ogre breaking through the lines, making a break for killing and eating some of these weapon teams. But the Skaven are actually doing quite well here, managing to beat off those Marauders in the background too. Next photo, we've finally got a victorious charge here against the slaves, and it's the Chaos Lord with his buddy the BSB and all of their knights in the retinue, and these guys just really do a number on the Skaven. As you can expect, just wiping the slaves out. I think they managed to hold one round due to steadfast or something silly, but the Skaven really not holding the objective very well with just a slave unit. Next photo, the giant stomping his way across the field. I forgot to talk to you about this guy's giant. He is like a really old school, first edition sort of giant, and the Rending Star's assassin having a good go at him and dragging him down with poison shots. Next photo, the rat swarms have eliminated the dogs. The objective has been taken back by the Chaos troops. The ogres have just marched their way across, wiped out all of the poison globadiers, and are hacking at the bus of clan rats. And the Jezzails, unfortunately, have nothing left to shoot at. Next and photo here, Josh puts his Chaos Warriors in the building victoriously, and during the similar combat phase, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Shadows is in a challenge with the Gracier. Now the Gracier had 2 wounds left. Didn't decide to use the Scam in the previous turn, and critically, didn't decide to use the Rival High Talisman as well. He wanted to save that until he was in a challenge with the actual Exalted hero. And much to everybody's disappointment, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord critically actually killed the Gracier in a challenge, because he got all of his hits and wounds off, and the Gracier failed both of his ward saves, and that meant that the Skaven couldn't use the Gracier in the final turn. Now I've got to say why that was critical again. Scam should have been used. Rival High Talisman should have just been used against the Sorcerer Lord, but mistakenly that wasn't done. And in the final turn, what could have happened is that he could have thrown 6 power dice plus his final Warpstone token to turn the Chaos Warriors in the building into clan rats. That would have worked, and that would have actually sealed this entire event for the Skaven. It'd be like, oh, you've got the building. Oh, now I've got the building because I've got rats in there. So that could have worked. What would have eventually happened is that the remaining Chaos Warriors would have been able to assault the building in the final turn. But that's not what happened, because the Gracier was killed, and I think that seals the deal. Scaven made 3 or 4 critical mistakes here, and that allows the Chaos players to take the game. Going to the next photo, it's just a mop-up mission over here. The objective has been well and truly taken. The last Skaven has been trampled by the Juggernaut over in the objective, and there's a few small skirmishes, but nothing too important. Going to the next photo over here, Skaven turn 6. Everybody gathers around the building. The Vermin Lord marches as far out of the building as he can and redirects the other unit of Chaos Warriors, backing them up, and that's quite important, because if they do cause a panic check with shooting to usher the Chaos troops out of the building, well, what that'll mean is that you'll have a situation where the building is unoccupied and the Skaven will be closer to the objective than the Chaos, and they'll win. So that was what it was going to come down to. Going to the next photo after that, just again more photos of the mop-up effect. You can see the Chaos troops on top of the objective. So skip this photo, go to the next one. On the other side of the field, the Demon Prince is in combat with some rat swarms and the plague furnace. I think he failed a charge to get across the field towards the rat ogres. The Skaven have got this objective. That's the only objective they have. Going to the second to last photo of this entire report. I hope you guys have lasted so far. The Warpfire Thrower does one desperate shot onto the hill, going for the incineration here and the panic check. I don't think that the Chaos Warriors are frenzied at that point, can't really remember, but what actually happened is that the Skaven players launched all of their offensive magic, all of their war machines, everything they could against the hill. The Warpfire Thrower misfired, went through it towards the rat ogres and blew up a couple of the rat ogres. The Rattling Gun blew itself up as well. The Warp Lightning Cannon and Plague Claw Catapult had a crack but didn't do enough wounds or damage. There was a panic check at some point, but they passed it, and that puts the game firmly in the hands of the Chaos team. Had there been a points count up, it wouldn't have been the case. I have no idea what would have happened. Not worth even thinking about. What is worth thinking about is shown in the next photo, and that is everybody clearly having thoroughly enjoyed the event, everybody having a good time, handshakes all around. Chaos victorious 2 objectives to 1 objective, and I've got to say that the event was a tremendous success. We played it over many, many hours. We started at 8 o'clock. We had a lunch break for 1 hour between 12 and 1. The game finished up around about 5 o'clock. Nobody really thought it would be as successful as it was. There were a lot of sort of people warning me that we wouldn't get past the second turn. But luckily, due to great organisation, great enthusiasm, and a group of 6 to 8 gamers who are experienced and knew exactly what they're doing, we managed to pull the whole thing off. And I must thank you guys as the YouTube video viewers for watching this. It's been my pleasure and pride to present the Gift of Morrslieb to you all. And given the success of this event, maybe there will be more in future. But as always, keep tuned to the YouTube page, and thanks for watching my videos. This is Vor.